And welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 here for Group K of the FX Open Invitational Series. I am Unstable, joined here by TSLHyuN, as we have TSLHyuN up against Slayer's MMA. Cloud Kingdom will be the map coming up. Of course, MMA losing game 1 with a cute strategy tried to do, but just did not work at all. Alright, so we're up here at the top right-hand corner as our red Terran. We have Slayer's MMA going for nothing out of the ordinary at the moment. And of course, down here at the bottom left, we have TSLHyuN as our blue Zerg going for our hatch into pool. Now, let's have a think about that last game here, real quick, because I really feel if he'd actually grouped up his Marines, he would have destroyed Hyun. Like, honestly.
It was a little bit late for what he was trying to do as well. I think trying to proxy it really set him off, just because of the fact that it wasn't likely to get scouted anyway with the setup that he had. And trying to proxy it into that position just delayed it for quite a bit longer, because he had to send the 3 SCVs all the way across the map. It took a while for the 3rd SCV to arrive. The 3rd barracks didn't finish for a while, etc., etc. But MMA is doing something cute again. Before we get too far off topic, like, he actually built, you saw where the barracks was built at first, and if you look at HyuN's vision, he checked all around the map for a proxy. Like, pretty much everywhere. And then he got in the base and he saw absolutely nothing because the barracks was hidden in that little peninsula. Now MMA has lifted it back over and he's setting up his wall and just used this to do a really quick
greedy.
1 Rax expansion, because he forced HyuN to go, wait, are you actually proxying me? Did I not find it? So he caused HyuN just to be a little bit nervous, and he's acting greedy behind it.
Well, at the same time,
which is kind of a cute little mix-up.
At the same time, he's being extremely like he went 1 Rax expand, double gas factory, right?
Yeah.
So that is an insanely greedy build coming out from him. And if you're going to scare a Zerg like that, going, oh my god, what is going to come? You might force him to make a lot of units early, and then when he pops over and says, oh, hang on a minute, you have no units, like HyuN is going to have this macro hatch at the front. He's going to have a lot of Zergling production power that can just run straight through him, if that can happen. So that is a risk that MMA is going to be taking here. We, of course, have the reactor coming out for here, but he's going double starport.
Yeah, so cute strategies. We were just discussing that a little bit. Double starport. That's going to be double Banshee, right? Like, there's pretty much no way around that. You got the double refinery. Quick, if he does throw down another geyser, he might be able to afford cloak, but he doesn't have another refinery on the way, so it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's just gonna be straight up 2 Banshee, catch his opponent with not enough queens. Like, this is a thing that if it doesn't go scouted, can just win, because, like, producing the Banshees out of 2 starports can just overwhelm the queens with some good micro, and then, yeah, no anti-air. What do?
Well, even on 2 gas that early, he's still going to have quite a bit of time before he can get those Banshees out. At the same time, there is 1, 2, 3 queens here already. HyuN going for 4 gas all at the same time. He's going to have that spine crawler up. He will likely put an Evo chamber to finish off this wall, as we've seen a lot of Zergs do anyway. He's also got his Overlords in nice positions here to actually, sorry, and a Zergling, that's not an Overlord, to actually scout this coming out. MMA could also wait for 4 Banshees because he's got them rallied into his base at the moment.
This lineup of builds is a little bit better for HyuN than it would be normally, because going for the 2 hatch and then dropping the macro hatch instead of going for the quick 3 base would generally make it so he's more likely to have units. He did make that evolution chamber, and the layer is on the way. I was actually looking at this and wondering if he was going to be going for 2 base Muta, because we have been seeing that as just a random mix-up again more often.
Yeah.
But Mutas wouldn't pop out in time, I don't think, just because the layer was too late. The 3rd and 4th Banshees are about halfway done now. And he's got a Baneling Nest on the way, but look at this, Spore Crawler's already being dropped. HyuN is untrustworthy.
Well, it's been a long time since you normally see Hellions come out into the middle of the map. He's also seen that 1 Marine just poking around. He hasn't seen anything with this Overlord at the front of the natural, so he's got to assume something's going on. And we do have the extra 2 Banshees coming out here now, but at the same time, if HyuN can defend this quite nicely, he could just steamroll straight through him. Is he, what? Really?
Okay, no, he did way out. He was just hanging around for a little bit, and he was almost back up to 200 gas.
And
so
he's been spotted.
He's going to make 6. Yeah, so he's been seen. There is a Spire on the way, so this is actually kind of a 2-base Muta. I mean, he made the 3rd hatch before the Spire. So it's like,
Well, he's
it's
reacting
different.
completely to what MMA is doing right now. He doesn't know what's coming. He had to play defensively. He's going to have all his queens coming down here to the third base now with the 4 Banshees coming through. Looking at the energy
I like
on
the
these
one
queens,
thing.
there's not all that much energy here at the moment. But the Banshee's going straight into the main. It is undefended. He's only got 2 spores. He's going to go straight over that one and then come back into the sun. This is a perfect position for these Banshees to be in right now here, Elkin, because the queens can't be everywhere right now. And he's probably going to be able to get this hatchery down if he controls correctly, because he can come back into the main. Just take out the gas geysers, probably, of all things.
He's camping out at the third.
Oh, because there's a run by in his
spores
natural.
and
That's why.
Yeah.
He's trying to defend against the run by in the natural. Done not quite nicely as well. Looking at the workers lost, it's 8 workers lost. And here come the Banshees yet again. So yeah, he targeted down that spore crawler in the mineral line. As we can see, he's got a lot of
the spawn
Banshees.
pool is going to go down.
Yes, it will.
That's going to be pretty crucial if he can get that, because that'll really cut into the Baneling count without being able to make the
transfuses!
Transfuses! Keeping it alive, that's a lot of transfusions, holy crap! And he did kill a Banshee, and now there's Spore Crawlers up in that third base. He flies right into them, might lose another one. Oh.
Yeah, that was very close. Very nicely done by HyuN. But the thing is, MMA really needed to kill that that spawning pool, because here comes some Zerglings and Banglings into the natural now, getting surrounded on those Marines, and we do see the Banglings into the mineral line. MMA trying to split as best he can, but he's still going to lose quite a few. 15 workers lost in total. But these Banshees have been completely shut down, and he really needed to kill that spawning pool just to stop any kind of aggression that could come through from HyuN in a moment. But did he see the Spire? I'm assuming he did, but it's going to be close.
Sure, he didn't get close enough. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't even see the Baneling nest, but he saw the Banelings. So, hey, there's a single Zergling picking away. It does see the third base timing. And he has another Evolution Chamber on the way, making Zerglings and a few more Spore Crawlers just to be safe. So HyuN is going to be able to sneak in some more drones here, because if you look at the worker count, he's only at 64 at the moment. The Banshee pressure did force him to, make a lot of extra stuff. Didn't get out as many drones. So he'll be able to get up to 70 or 80, depending on however many he feels like today. But HyuN has been impressing me recently, because he did used to be a player who had a really big weakness in the late game, and he's been getting better and better and better at that recently. Like, it's not that you can just go to the late game against HyuN and expect to win anymore.
Why are there these SCVs in the middle of nowhere? That's really bizarre. MMA is on 59 SCVs right now, so he's probably just trying to cut back, but at the same time, he hasn't taken his gas at his third just yet. Looking at the upgrades, we're at 1-1 for MMA. Looking back, we have... Where is the Zergling I can click on? 1-0 coming through. And the Mutas have taken out all those Banshees.
Yeah, he's still making SCVs, so I don't think he was trying to sacrifice SCVs. That must have just been like a missed rally or something. I can't think of anything else. It must have just been rallied the wrong building on accident, and then there's an SCV in the middle of nowhere. Mutas are still flying around. There are 8 more in production as well. So he's going to be up at 15 here in a second. Hasn't gotten invested in any air upgrades, though. Sometimes when you see this heavy meta play, they'll start working on those air upgrades for later in the game when they switch into Broodlords. Leonok even blowing Artosis' pants off by doing the really quick double Spire when he did that, but don't see HyuN going for that at all. There's an infestation pit started, a lot more Zerglings. So he's just trying to hold on to the map control that he has right now. Keep MMA contained to these 3 bases, which he's doing a pretty good job of. And he's opening up all the rocks in the center, just so that when their armies are clashing in the middle, his Banelings will be a little bit better, won't get choked off by these rocks and get annihilated by the tanks. That can be a really big issue if these rocks are up.
Well, the issue with that right there, in my mind, is if you already have a lead on MMA, because he did have that lead at the beginning, he shut down the Banshees, got some worker, and then sits defensively, he's just going to allow MMA to get his economy back on track, which he has done. He's going to be able to let his upgrades come through. He has production going through now, and he can sit on these 3 bases for a little bit of time until he maxes out and then come out with a very strong army. His control is extremely good. Why are you attacking your own tank?
I don't know, man. he caught it in time, so he's not going to be repeating MLG. Like, oh my god, MLG Columbus 2011, I will never forget that. Every time I see MMA shoot his own units, I just have scary flashbacks. But one thing is he's spreading the creep really nice here, and we did see a previous Zerg vs. Terran where the Zerg creep got so out of control in this map that they saw everything. and completely shut down the turn
That was
because of it.
Sniper versus Hack, I believe it was, and that was quite funny to actually watch with the one-sidedness of that. But we do see MMA coming out now. He's going to start clearing out a lot of this creep. It's Marines versus Queens over here, and he's actually going to get one of the Queens as the scan goes down. So he's going to clean this creep up for pretty much half the map. He's got Marines coming around on the right-hand side to check for another base down in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, he needs to be careful with these mutas, though.
There's a little bit of a Marine Strike Force down there in the corner, and they will find that empty, and then they can go hit this fourth base from the high ground, which is what it looks like it might be doing, but there's no drones here. So that's kind of unfortunate. This is a nice little attack. He can come up here.
Oh, but the Baneling count here for HyuN is absolutely huge, and it's just been spotted by MMA, and he's actually going to come in and try and deal something with this. He's on the low ground, though. There is a Thor there doing a lot of damage to those mutas, and HyuN is realizing what's happening here. He cannot run his drones and saturate this mineral line because the Marines are at the top, and he's now clearing out the creep there as well. But they're both maxed out. It's now going to be a positional game here at the moment. We got Marines coming up forward from behind. And HyuN's trying to figure out, where do I engage? Do I go for the run by? Do I engage him? He can't really do anything against MMA's army down at the bottom.
Clearing out that army in the bottom right, actually using about 4 Banelings for that. There's still some more Marines down there. He's going to lose more Banelings.
But we are going to have a run by.
We're
going to have a base race here by the looks of it here, RealCoon. He's coming in and taking out that third base. It looks like MMA has kept a couple of tanks and a few Marines to kill off this fourth base while he's coming back to defend here. But he needs to not get stuck on the ramp there against the Banelings. And there we go. He is going to force HyuN to come back. Yeah.
Oh my god, the tank shots are ripping those Banelings apart. It was a nice job to get onto that ramp there.
But at the same time, he's going to lose his fourth base down here because MMA is coming straight back. He's got a direct line of sight to it. HyuN's had to come all the way around. He's lost quite a few of his Banelings, and they're actually falling behind now. We got Zerglings in the middle. Look at the positioning on the tanks here for MMA, and all these Zerglings are being slaughtered right now. He's just completely surrounded. Banelings, Marines on the low ground, high ground, tanks on the low ground as well. HyuN will clean it up, but he's lost his hatchery, and that was nowhere near as effective as he wanted it to be.
That Thor got off a good 4 or 5 shots on the mutas that entire time too. So that single Thor just sitting on the watchtower has been really useful. That fourth base can be really difficult for a Zerg player to hold on this map if the Terran player is being anywhat aggressive. So that positioning by MMA was just perfect, hanging out in between that space between the natural and holding that area leading up to the fourth base. But we've got HyuN still being aggressive instead of pulling back. I'm not sure I like this. Coming with just Banelings, a few Zerglings, and all the mutas. He will blow up army with the Banelings, but that wasn't nearly cost effective enough, I don't think.
Well, the tanks are on siege, which made him get a better trade than he wanted to, but MMA does have this extra command center here, remember, and he's got bunkers at both of his mineral lines just in case run-bys happen. And HyuN is back on 3 bases now. Looking at the upgrades for him, we do have quite a few Infestors out now for HyuN. But at the same time, 2-1 for his Zerglings compared to the 2-3, actually 3-3 because that upgrade is about to finish for the Marines, and that's going to give MMA quite a big upgrade advantage. He's still even in supply. He's going to secure his fourth base, something which HyuN has not been able to do yet. He's double expanding here to the left-hand side, but MMA is going to be all over him in a minute, as I think the momentum is going to start shifting back to him because he has to secure a fourth base somehow. He's going to triple expand now, trying to make sure one of them stays alive. But MMA also is split up quite nicely here to attack pretty much all of these positions.
Yeah, that's why I don't like him suiciding at that base there, because he only killed a few units, and after losing his fourth base like that, he couldn't really afford.
Oh, these Infestors are being shelled by the tanks. What are they doing? Why are they here? What the? Wah!
He was trying to do the strikes, the hit squad with the Infestors, and he just
supposed to be burrowed.
He got seen and scanned. Oh, they didn't get burrowed?
No, they weren't burrowed. They were just like sitting there, and now a Thor taking a couple of hits on to all of these mutas. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Like, he's just giving away units. Like, the thing is, he's getting more and more desperate because after losing those units at MMA's third and being down the fourth base, he's like, he's got this mindset of I need to make something happen. I'm really far behind. This isn't working. So he's continuing.
Oh, he's gonna pick 2 tanks off here.
MMA's just has better map presence. He's all over the place. He's controlling his army on multiple fronts way better. Look at that. He doesn't even lose all those tanks. 2 of them really low health.
Yeah.
He could have easily traded a few Zerglings for those tanks, and that would have been fine.
Well, the tanks are unsieged also, so he could have actually come in and actually traded well with that, but now we do have, looks like MMA is lifting up his base, but like I was saying, there is that bunker at the back there killing a lot of Zerglings because he can't get us around. MMA coming down into the left-hand base here as well. He's splitting up his units up nicely.
Right to the turret.
Oh. Gonna lose quite a
He
few there.
lost 2 meters just to the turret there, and MMA was actually blocking the bunker with his SCBs. The 4th base for HyuN has gone down again. The other 4th base is now up, but there's no mining going on there. If we check out the worker count, it's 65 to 32. But HyuN is now storming into the natural with all of these Zerglings, but he will be cleaned up here eventually. And this army from MMA is just going to continue to deny the 4th base. And HyuN's army's just shrinking by the second right now, Unstable.
Well, doesn't really have the gas. Like, he has the gas he wants, he just doesn't have the minerals right now because he hasn't been able to get that 4th base. He does have the right-hand side up yet again, but he can't really go toe-to-toe with this army. Looking at, he's got 6 infestors left, 1 muter in total, and then a whole heap of Zerglings. But that's pretty much it. He lost too many muters and too many infestors in those positions that he's having a hard time trading effectively. He is down on supply now, and he really needs to re-expand to this left-hand side because he's got a lot of drones sitting here being useless at this point in time. MMA is coming down yet again up here, but he's also left a decent amount of units at the 4th base to stop any kind of run-bys coming forward again.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that HyuN does have a greater...
Oh, but he's actually coming through here now. We do see a couple of infested Terrans underneath those tanks going to trade quite nicely, but as I was saying, he just doesn't have the supply, and the upgrades are still in favor of MMA. There's no +3 attack for these Zerglings, and there's no infestor energy left. He's going to lose that infestor too, and that is going to give MMA the clear line of sight, can come into that base and push forward here, and there's the GG coming out because he just cannot rebuild after that. Congratulations to MMA. He will tie up the series, but I really feel there was quite a few mistakes there from HyuN. So let's go into game number 3 and see if who will advance into the winners match between these two guys. Stay with us.